At the age of 31, Jordi thought he was doing everything right. He had followed the vegan diet for years until his health collapsed. At our recent meetup event in Melbourne, Jordi and his wife Sara shared their story with us and told us exactly what happened next.
I only started the carnivore diet because at age 31, my health was rapidly declining. This was supposed to be the prime of my life, but instead, my gut was destroyed. I had bad eczema, bathroom trips were pure torture, and for months, I couldn't even leave my bed. So I said, screw it, and went full carnivore. And I'm not gonna lie, it was brutal giving up all my favorite foods. But then something crazy happened. My stubborn belly fat melted off like I've never seen before, and I had so much energy, I felt 10 years younger.
I mean, our story really begins probably when I met Sara. I was telling a story on international people living in Australia, and I was doing a video on it, and I needed someone to interview. Someone suggested that I could interview her. I never met her before, and she walked in. I thought she was stunning, and then I started interviewing her, and I learned a lot more about her, and discovered that she was vegan. And I thought, oh, well, you know, she must take care of herself. She must be pretty healthy. We get married a year later, and she really convinces me to go vegan as well. And so we were both eating vegan. I ended up being vegan for 6 years? My health started really deteriorating, like pretty dramatically after I met you. I was suffering from some pretty severe digestive problems. Every time I went to the bathroom, I was bleeding, and was suffering this for years. I was just losing that much blood that I went to the doctor and got a blood test, and they said, you've got to go to emergency, like ASAP, like right now. And I was anemic. I lost so much blood. I was in hospital for like a week. I had to get blood transfusions and all sorts of stuff. And so that's really where our journey began. I was like, okay, well, what's causing this and how can we fix it?
And by this point, we were in rooms full of specialists, there was doctors, and I was like, we're eating so clean, only fruit and vegetables. Why is this having such an impact? You know, like, is he allergic to something? Could it be, you know, like, there's like rooms of specialists, you know, like they're all making all of these tests. And I was like, is it food related? Like, surely, like, is it digestive system? Like, and I'm asking all of them questions, and they're like, no, he just needs more fiber. Just more fiber, more fiber.
Well, first they would say this is not food related at all.
Yeah.
This has got nothing to do with food.
All of them said, yeah.
It's just what I'm suffering with, and I've just got to do surgeries, got to take medication. That's all they were offering. But then Sara would really push, like, what can we eat? Like, surely there's something. And they just said more fiber.
And that was, of course, making it worse.
It gets to a point where I've had all the surgeries, I've recovered and everything, and like it stops the bleeding for a while, but then the bleeding starts coming back.
And at this point, Jordan is not living. He's like on bed all day. He's in pain. You know, he could barely work. It was extremely hard.
We weren't eating any processed food, and it was just a high fiber, all whole food diet, right? This is the balanced diet. We tried the balanced diet approach.
Yeah.
Still no good. I was also suffering with eczema, and I was getting eczema on my face. And the doctor would prescribe topical steroid cream and to help the eczema. It's the only thing that would get rid of it. But it's really, really bad for your skin. And you start to get withdrawals, and it like burns your skin. And the withdrawal symptoms when you stop taking it are really, really bad. And so I discovered online that the carnivore diet can help with digestion, and it can help with the recovering from eczema. And that's when I just said to Sara, I've got to do this carnivore diet. I've got to do it today. I'm going out to the butcher. I'm going to buy as much meat as I possibly can. I'm coming back, and I'm just going to eat meat.
Yeah, before this point, we were already talking about the carnivore diet. We were like, let's just try 30 days at the end of the year. And I was like, well, you have to promise me that if it goes bad, we're going to tell everyone not to do this diet. I was scared of it. I was like, we're going to feel so heavy and we're going to feel sick.
And then within like the third day, it was the first week, all those issues that I was struggling with, my digestive problems were just gone. And then we realized after like a couple of months on the carnivore diet that Sara used to suffer from like severe migraines. And this is something that you've struggled with all your life. She's gone to doctors, specialists, all sorts.
They have done all the tests. They have, have scans, everything. And it's just something sometimes I get.
And then we realized she hasn't had one migraine this whole time. Like, not one of these migraines. So she used to, every time she would stand up, she would just get these dizzy spells. That completely left. She was diagnosed with hypothyroidism as well. And so she was having to take this medication, or else she would be very drained and exhausted.
Which is a medication that doctors say you're gonna be on it forever. Like they, all the doctors are, so they don't really know of a patient that has stopped medication. Like, over time they're just gonna increase the dose. Your thyroid is not working properly. It's a bit lazy. Then after like 6 months of carnivore, like my thyroid was working perfectly. Stop medication. Don't eat anything else. Doctors don't ask any questions. I was like, wow, like my hormones are working properly, which is amazing.
And so the carnivore diet for us has been an absolute game changer. And even Sara's family, it's interesting when you start the carnivore diet and how other people around you and their comments. And that's definitely something that we've discovered. And then my parents, because they live in the Gold Coast, I would visit every year. One year they were very concerned about me because I didn't look good. And then I came back a year later looking a lot better, and so they gave it a go themselves. And so they're in like mid-60s, and my mum was struggling with her weight loss. Now she's lost 20 kilos on the carnivore diet. She was struggling to walk. Like, she was like crutches every day because her knees were so inflamed.
A bunch of specialists, and they were telling her, you're gonna end up in wheelchair. Like, there is nothing to do. It's just inflammation because of your age. She's super healthy. She's very active. Her inflammation completely disappeared after 1 week of only eating meat.
And my dad, so he's a builder, and he was getting arthritis in his hands, and he was getting back pain, and he was getting really worried that he would have to retire earlier than he'd wanted to. But then with this carnivore diet, he's had no arthritis in his hands. His back's been good. It's been pretty amazing.
Yeah, he's also like, he runs marathons. He said that he just didn't get tired.
Yeah. And so it's been a wild ride. Like, we've been doing this carnivore diet for like a year and maybe 4 months now. And what started as like a 30-day experiment is now something that we consider that we'd probably eat for the rest of our life. And Sara's pregnant. When I was sick, like, I was thinking about what I would always wanted to be a father, but I was thinking I just don't have the energy. Like, how would I be able to keep up with a child? And that has been something that we've been really wanting to do, like, through getting our health sorted, is that we can conceive and everything's going to be healthy and everything's going to be fine. When we got our health back, I got that dream again.
What struck me most that night was not just the change in diet, but the courage. Imagine for a moment building your identity around something, believing it was the right path, and then having the humility to say, this isn't working. Whether you're 31 or 71, the lesson is the same. Listen to your body. Always be willing to question what you've been told. And don't be afraid to change direction when your health depends on it. That decision changed Jordi's life. If this story has resonated with you, let me know in the comments.